Today, I'm watching The Twilight Zone, Season 1, Episode 14. The previous episode was this guy who could change faces, and we kind of had the 4 lives of these 4 different people he would change into in this one episode. It was a really interesting concept. I liked the way that they did the transitions, obviously played by 4 different actors. And this guy, taking on all these identities and the reactions people had when they see a ghost, because he would take on, faces of people who had passed away. And yeah, I really enjoyed that episode. This episode is about Third Rock from the Sun, which is Earth. So I'm very curious to see where we're going to go. Rod Serling in the previous episode mentioned that we're on, the edge of Doomsday, basically. So I'm definitely expecting this one to have a little bit more of a sci-fi element to it. I don't know if we'll go to what their version of Earth will be in the future, what that's gonna look like, but yeah, I'm very curious to see where we're gonna go. He mentioned, astronomy, so yeah, I'm definitely anticipating more of like a space, sci-fi feel, something like that. So I'm really enjoying this series so far. So thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content.
All mapped out, I've been. Talk is 48 hours.
Is that the Doomsday countdowns they were talking about?
But not so many. Not so properly aimed. Not so skillfully carried out.
Are they talking about like nuclear weapons or something?
35, huh? You a defeatist, Sturka? That's dangerous thinking.
They were listing different jobs and stuff while people are coming through the gate, so...
Visible over the summer night is a horror without words. For this is the stillness before storm.
I'm trying to read what his pin says, but I can't.
Of the end.
Very ominous indeed. Okay. Yeah, and again, like the Dutch angle, like, is this not his house? He seems very, like, he's not acting like he's comfortable. He's kind of inspecting things and touching things. Like, it doesn't feel like this is his home. But it is? Okay, interesting.
Oh, I mean, just having to work on the kind of things that you do. Fever bombs and hydrogen bombs and gas and things.
Yeah, they definitely, like, they worked at, like, a nuclear factory, like a power plant or something.
Looking at it like that, I'm not quite as responsible as if I... Hello, darling.
He's like, trust me, it's not just me. I got lots of people working on these things.
I told him we'd phone them. You'll be there, Jodie, won't you? He'd like to see you.
It's been a while since we've had, like, a family concept for an episode. Like, we've had, like, a wife or a husband, but...
I got a date. Maybe I could get in a little early.
Break it, will you, Jodie? I'd like you home tonight.
Wait, Dad, I can't...
Typically, it's like a relationship with like a coworker or like some stranger or something, not so much like the familial relationships.
It might take your mind off things.
It's like clock chime song as well. Yeah, something's up for sure.
Will it be bad?
It'll be a holocaust. It will be hell. It will be the end of everything we know. People, places, ideas, everything.
Oh
It will
my
all
God, that's terrifying. So they think they're being under nuclear attack? Cheese and rice. I thought they were going to attack somebody, but clearly somebody's already attacking them. The separate beds. Oh, yes.
You and Jodie and I and Jerry and Ann, we're leaving tonight.
Where are you gonna go? You can't outrun...
Oh, let's see what we can do.
Bill, we've got to change our plan.
Not yet. Wait a minute.
Yeah, and have them transition from being at his house to their work, obviously. Yeah, I don't know where he's gonna go, but obviously they're very afraid. So many Dutch angles in this episode. Everything is crooked and tilted.
You and Ann to play cards. You can come around 7, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and how they... Oh, I thought they were at work. It looks like they're just in his garage, maybe. But yeah, like they have this noise and the sheen to like block out the conversation they're having. They don't want people to hear their plan, obviously. But of course, who is this guy lurking in the window? The other coworker. Interesting. This very intense card game, it definitely reminded me of like that 70s show, if you've seen that, where they have that kind of piece. But yeah, they're panning around each of the characters.
Right there. How far? 11 million miles.
11 million miles.
What? Are they going into space to try and avoid this thing? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, they're taking a ship.
Get you down in one piece. But that's the risk, Bill. That's the risk we've been talking about for months now.
It's a good risk.
So it's like, where on the planet are they going to go to avoid this? Like, they had to get out of here.
A couple of breaks. And God, we might even make it there.
Bill, Mr. Calling's here.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, if they're going to another planet or what it is, but obviously they don't want this guy to know their plan. And this under the shot table of the cards, yeah.
The aircraft. They say it's capable of leaving our atmosphere. Talk is it could go to another planet.
I'm assuming that's the one they want to take. Yeah.
Well, not for a while yet. Needs a lot more testing.
Yeah, that there's civilization on this other planet that he mentioned. There's people and this language. That's cool.
Guess the Sturka here was a good gambler. I'd have guessed he'd gamble on most anything.
Here we are.
Yeah, it's like, does he know what they know? Is he just being suspicious? Like, clearly he's hanging around for a reason. Oh, that's their whole plan. Well, shoot. Oh. He's not gonna flip it over? Come on, what are the chances?
Well, I'll probably see you at the office tomorrow.
Ha 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 ha! Yes, sir, you will. Yeah, we'll be there for sure. Yep.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
Yeah, this like tense conversation. He's like trying to play it cool, not give too much away, but like obviously it seems like he knows they're up to something already, so...
Everybody, now I'll back the car out of the garage. Anne, is your bag ready?
It's in our bedroom. I'll go get it.
Then let's get going.
These phones are so weird. And that sound, yeah, I wouldn't think would be a ring, but who could it be?
Yes?
I got the dial on the bottom. Crazy. Such a crazy conception.
I'm in bed.
The phone line get... Oh, sound of somebody hanging up.
Car over for me.
Then we better get out of here right now.
I'll get our bag. I'll get ours.
Yeah, clearly they know he's up to something. Whether they know he's leaving or...
Silly, isn't it? We aren't ever coming back here again.
Don't need to do the dishes. Yeah, you can leave the lemonade. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and this like suburban take on things, like him and his neighbor obviously work together. Very interesting.
That's it. There it is.
That's cool. I wasn't sure if we'd ever see the ship, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't think it's who you're gonna think it's gonna be. Also, why would he, like, if he knows what's coming, why is he trying to keep everybody here so that everybody can die? Like, that's grim. Yeah, there he is.
Away from home, aren't you?
And he has a gun. Oh my gosh, this guy. They're not getting out of here.
These two gentlemen and I have an engagement with the authorities.
Oh, sneak attack. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Cheese and rice.
A gate.
They're like, nothing's stopping us. We're getting out of here, man. See you later.
Vehicle on field. Guard Unit 7, approach unauthorized vehicle. Approach unauthorized vehicle and request it to halt.
They're so close. They gotta make it. They gotta get out of here. Yeah, and who was supposed to be their contact? Why didn't they show up? Oh, he just unplugged the spaceship, naturally. Yes, I love it. Oh! Oh, kicks to the face. That is a... Oh, we get spaceship. I'm excited. Boop-a-da-boop-a-da-boop-a-boop. And inside the ship, too, which looks like there's just a tinier version of the ship inside this giant bubble thing, but still, so cool.
The bright one over on the right. hard to believe there are people there.
Yeah, I'm very curious if we see this other planet.
It's the third planet from the sun, Bill. It's called Earth.
Oh, the plot twist has begun. Da 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 da. Oh my god, I love it.
On the verge of suicide. Ahead lies a place called Earth, the third planet from the sun.
They're going to Earth, not from it. So cool.
Women with him. It's the eve of the beginning. In the Twilight Zone.
I love it. That was a good twist. The way they had it set up, obviously it looks exactly like Earth, so you would believe that it is, and have the twist being that they're coming from some other planet and we don't know, but obviously that planet's not going to be around for much longer. So that was my first time watching The Twilight Zone, Season 1, Episode 14. I really like this episode. We finally got a little bit more of some sci-fi elements. It was really cool to see the ship. I definitely didn't think we would, just based on previous episodes and how they kind of, just kind of allude to things and not really show you. And even seeing inside the ship, I was like, yes, this is awesome. I didn't think we would see the planet. I thought maybe that would be too far. And then, of course, we find out the planet that they go to is, in fact, Earth, which, again, just so clever, and the way that they do it and just make this, obviously the entire episode you're thinking that where they are is Earth because you have no reason not to. It looks like a regular, suburban home with all of these things, and the neighbors are coming over for cards. Like, there was a lot of Dutch angles, like a lot more than usual, so maybe that was kind of how they're trying to hint at it, but other than that, there's no real indication. We don't find out what planet they're on, if they're aliens. We don't really know. I mean, I think it's kind of implied that they're some kind of, obviously they live on another planet than Earth, but obviously they look just like humans. They sound just like humans. So again, there was nothing there that kind of sent off alarm bells being like, humans wouldn't do that. That makes it seem out of place. Like, Jodie's going on a date and, he's going to work and like all of these, she's making a cake and lemonade. Like all of these things seemed like normal 50s, 60s household kind of things. So there was nothing, that really made me question it, which to me makes me think that it's a good twist. Like, if I can figure it out before you get to the twist, it kind of takes away from it. The name of the episode being Third from the Sun. There is also a TV show where I really love called Third Rock from the Sun, which that's the first thing that came to mind. And Third from the Sun is, of course, the planet Earth. So, but again, I assumed that was a reference to the planet that they were on, not the planet that they'd be going to. So that was really cool. I love that they had that twist in there. And I really like that we got to see the inside of the ship and that it was a very, spaceship-looking spaceship, just kind of this round saucer. And I was a little bit suspicious when they just started kind of beating people up and running away. Not saying that humans wouldn't do that, but there was not really any like hesitation. But again, it was such a high stakes conversation that they were having that, they're like, we have to do whatever we can to get out of here. Again, to me, that didn't really, I was like, oh, now I'm questioning more you as a character, not you as like a species of a human. So that was interesting to have this Collins, character be our villain, basically. We know Collins worked with them at this, what I thought was like a power plant, a nuclear plant, something like that. And to have them come in and, see their assignments in the different sections that they worked, they didn't sound familiar to me, but that doesn't, I'm not a nuclear, scientist. I wouldn't immediately recognize stuff like that. And it wasn't so far-fetched that I was questioning it also. So that was interesting, and talking about how busy they are, and obviously Jerry and Bill are, our main characters, know something is going on. They don't want to just sit around and wait for the worst to happen, but it does bring up more questions like who is sending, if it is a nuclear bomb that's coming to this planet or a nuclear weapon of some kind, because it definitely sounds like there's not going to be a planet to come back to, and they have no intention of coming back. And does that make them like the sole survivors of this entire, alien species, basically? But who is the one initiating this? Who's launching this attack on their planet, on Bill and Jerry's planet? And what does that look like? And even, they're talking, they're like, oh, well, we'll strike them back. Like, don't worry, we'll be ready. And it's like, well, if they get to us first, it doesn't really matter because we know how detrimental these kind of attacks can be. And I like that we had this tension between Collins, showing up at their card game, showing up at their employee's house or, coworker's house. I feel like he was their boss or like a higher level person where they worked. So to have him show up late at night and, like clearly they're playing cards and it felt very like intrusive. But again, he definitely knew that they were up to something, picking up that piece of paper that has their flight plan on the back, and obviously showing up at the gate and trying to stop them, and, had a gun and was going to go turn them into the police. But if Collins knows all this is happening and that the world's going to end tomorrow, then why is he, it just felt like, do you not know what's going on, but you also know? And yeah, I like that we kind of had him as our like bad guy, our villain throughout this. And I'm glad that we were able to see them, finally get away, and the spaceship was really cool. And this, suburban setting we haven't seen a ton of. Usually it's a lot of city and more urban settings, stuff like that. We have had a few where like people go to the country, but they're always leaving the city and, stuff like that. So that was really interesting. And to see this like father-daughter relationship, we have had a lot of like, husbands and wives in episodes, but this is the first time that I can remember we've had like a familial, like a family unit. Most of the episode takes place within their suburban home, and their neighbors come over, and they're playing cards. And I really like the cinematography of having that spinning shot with all the different people playing cards, and even that under the table, it's this glass table you can see and look up. I thought that was really cool. And that phone, I still can't get past it. I saw it in another movie as well, and I didn't realize what it was at first, because it's so bizarre, but it's so cool at the same time. So I like that we got that change of pace on top of them being on another planet, aliens, having it take place outside of the city and exploring these different relationships, seeing how Bill is as a dad, seeing how him and his wife interact, and, how he interacts with his neighbor and also co-worker. So that was cool. Usually it's like a stranger they haven't met comes in and things happen, or it's more work related and you don't see anybody else or anything like that. Even when they said they're going into space, to me that still made sense. It wasn't really an alarm bell, because whatever world this was in, it still felt very much like it could be Earth. These people seem like very intelligent, scientists. They would be able to, he mentions he's a pilot. He'd be able to fly this thing. They can get out of there. And to have some kind of way to leave, because I was like, if this happens, you can't really escape it. So I was like, where are they going to go? How are they going to get out? But the fact they've been planning this for months as well, I thought was interesting. And that our characters, just want to save themselves, save their families, and get out. And I think it would have been interesting to see what their version of Earth would have looked like. But even seeing inside the ship was so cool. I really liked that. And we have Rod Serling set up for the next episode, saying that it also involves a spaceship, and, it lands somewhere that nobody really knows. So I like that they're involving more sci-fi stuff to it, but it still doesn't feel like completely, insane where you can't follow along. Like the concept of aliens, isn't that crazy. And again, they're not dressed up like little green men. They're still looking human. So I love sci-fi, so it's great to see them branch out more into that. So I'm really enjoying this series so far. A really good episode. So thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Is that the Doomsday countdown they were talking about? They were listing different jobs and stuff while people are coming through the gate, so... What? Are they going into space to try and avoid this thing? Don't need to do the dishes. Yeah, you can leave the lemonade. Oh, you just unplug the spaceship, naturally. Yes, I love it. We get spaceship. I'm excited. Boop-a-doo-boop-a-doo-boop.